back today in the Taurus, as you can see. Anyways, I've been daily driving it now for a few days, and it's been a pretty cool little cheap daily for what it's been asked to do. It's super smooth, and so with all of that, we've done quite a bit of work to it with adding the tweeters over there, and all that stuff, the amplifier, the steering wheel. It's just made it a comfortable daily driver. And so what I want to do today is actually replace the radio, and I would like to also flush the power steering. It's kind of noisy like the older Ford pumps get, but I did look at the fluid and it's like beyond black, so it's definitely probably original. And so, we're going to go ahead and replace the power steering fluid in it, and we're going to put a new radio in it. Maybe a few other things, but this is going to be a Taurus day. Like I said, I've been daily driving it more, and so I just want to kind of get it up to snuff there. So let's go ahead and get started with going to the junkyard first, and we'll see what else we can get into today. All right, so here we are. We're going to see if we can find some Tauruses and maybe see some other cool stuff here. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's check this thing out. Oh boy, look at this thing. I almost want to grab one of these for my house. That'd be pretty cool. All right, we may be back to this one. So, it's been quite a while since I've been to one of these, but it appears that a lot of newer cars within the last 10 years are here already. I did not really realize how fast time really has gone. But I mean, there's Fusions, like super nice Fusions here. Someone's lived in that one, but I mean, you have like decently new Lincolns, and all the Tauruses and Sables are pretty much nowhere to be seen. And we do need one out of an 05 to 07 because we have the airbag sensor in the radio, so that one won't work, even though that one does have a cassette. I found one right here, and I have one other that I saw, so let's go ahead and see if we can find a cassette maybe in this one here. This one's locked, of course. Oh, of course, the radio is gone. All right, so we actually got super lucky. We found with a cassette, and actually the keys are in it, so I mean, it doesn't really run, but we can test the radio on it, and I have the cassette right here, so we'll try it out here and see if it works and if it's worth our time. All right, guys, so before we get started here, I do have the heater on right now, so pardon the noise, but we got the new radio right there. We got it all wiped down, and we're gonna come in the car now, and we're gonna get it all set up to remove. So we're gonna get our radio removal tools here. Set you down over here. We're gonna pull this out and pop the new one in. So let's go ahead and get started here. As you can see, you have to get the whole entire unit here. This is all the HVAC controls are tied right into the radio. So what we have is basically a factory direct replacement. So let's go get started. All right, there's always that one side that never really wants to come out, but thankfully we got it out here. So pulling this radio out, there's a bunch of little clips and wires tucked back there, some vacuum lines. So let's go ahead and pull these out. And here we have a removed radio, and I don't know if there's loose change in there or if there's a part of a cassette, but nonetheless, it's malfunctioned. So let's go ahead and slap the new one in, and that should be a satisfying replacement. And even on this one, some of these numbers down here didn't light up. So hopefully the new one has all working lighting. We'll actually gain that too, hopefully. radio. See if the lights work on it. It looks like all the lights work on it. Well, yeah, they all work, so cool. Nice little upgrade. That was all about $20. And the most important thing here is that we gained a working aux to iPhone connector. So now we are back into modern times. Can't stress how bad FM radio is. So yes, this is super nice. I'm very happy about this. All right, so now that we got the radio all installed, we're gonna go ahead and actually get under the hood, and we're gonna work on doing the power steering right now. So let's go ahead and get the hood open here. We have our little drain pan right there, which is still full of the Maverick's first oil change, so I still need to get rid of that. But looking under the hood here, we do have our power steering reservoir right here, and that stuff is just dark. It's loud too. The pump is pretty loud, so we're gonna go ahead and cycle that a few times. We have about a quart to play with power steering fluid, so we'll see how much we can get out. We have a little pump right here. Hopefully this works pretty good. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started here. So we undid the pump here, and this thing is gonna work probably as good as I'm thinking it's gonna work, which is probably us going to buy another one of these, but we'll give it a shot. I don't know. Well, it feels very flimsy, so go ahead and lift this up here. So there's about 5 quarts in this thing, so we don't want to spill it, but let's go ahead and see what we can do to get out of this. Okay. Something's coming out. All right. So it's looking like I have to wait for the hand pump to see, we're getting it out. So I would say we probably got a few out of there. So in regards to how much, I just don't know. So we got a few. So what I'm going to do is, I know it was definitely well under a quart of fluid here, so I'm going to actually fill it right back up. Start the car up. We're going to do a couple cycles as far as turning the wheel full lock to full lock. And then we'll flush it again. Maybe we'll do it again, maybe 2 or 3 times, because we have a lot of power steering fluid here, which I don't anticipate using again. And this stuff is so cheap. Why not? Let's get a good flush in this power steering rack here. So now when you're doing the power steering, you're flushing it, especially if you're doing it by yourself. You got to turn the wheel. So start the car up, turn the wheel. Hopefully that 5 quarts doesn't fall off. We'll whine for a moment. Yep, fluid went down. Let's dump a little bit more up in it. So that fluid actually is pretty dark now. That must have mixed in there. So we'll have a couple more minutes here before we can run the car in the garage, but you get the point. We're gonna do this a few more times. So what we have here is kind of a chocolate milk mixture. You'll see. But still pretty dark. The main reason I'm doing this is because whenever I go for a drive, I can smell burning power steering fluid under the hood. So this stuff is definitely well into its expiration. I think it's probably all broken down, so hopefully we don't have to smell more of this stuff. And thank God this reservoir is super easy to get to. So yeah, definitely easy to do some maintenance on this thing. I'm all for about 15 bucks, really, not that bad. Still a bit of a power steering whine. It actually got louder, so we're gonna go ahead and actually dump some Lucas into this at this point. Lucas always seems to solve the problem as far as noises go, so if anything, we're giving the system a good flush out as we're driving it. But yeah, it actually got louder, so I just can't. I gotta go redo it. So you know, no big deal. It's the fluid's over 15 years old. It's to be expected. Alright, so this is what we ended up getting here. We're going to go ahead and mix a little bit of this into this, but we're going to go ahead and suck out this first stuff we did with the old fluid. Hopefully that's enough mixed together to where we can get a lot of the old fluid out. And then we'll probably dump half of this in there, pull it back out, and then just kind of run with what we have here with the remainder of this into the mixture of that. But pulling this off, as you can see, it's actually still super dark and watery. So I know it's steering fluid, it's pretty low weight anyways, but yeah, I think that'll be probably the key to getting this to be quieter than hopefully it was originally. So let's go ahead and do it. So I flushed it like 3 more times after that, in that last click there, and the fluid pretty much came out pretty clear. But at that point I actually added that royal purple, which was actually purple, so that's why it looks dark again. But hopefully after the next drive it'll hopefully quiet down a bit there. But that's the end of the power steering flush, so not all that bad of a job. So yeah, let's go ahead and go on. Alright, so I did pick up some touch-up paint, and I actually really want to dab that, so that's kind of the last thing. It's the biggest eyesore on the car. So let's go ahead and seal it up. It's, you know, I'm not going to sand it down. Listen, it's an 07 Taurus, so I'm just going to put paint on top of it and live with it. This is just a daily beater, and this, I bought the cheapest touch-up paint online, which probably hindsight shouldn't have done that, because this is pretty bad paint. This little stick likes to fall out too when I dab it, so paint gets all over the place. So yeah, as you can see, as I clean this up here, but on par for the course. So for a Taurus.